Brian, what number are you?
What do I rate myself as?
Yeah.
Like 6.9 on a good day.
Okay, do you feel like a lot of the times, not this panel, no one called themselves a 10, but I do feel like a lot of the times this show will bring in like kind of 7s or above, and then they call themselves 10s, and we scoff at that.
7s and above? You sure about that one?
Most of the time.
Oh no, sometimes they be lower than 7s, claiming 10. But go ahead with your point. Go ahead.
I just like, and we scoff and make fun of that. So just like, what makes you a 6? Like, what makes you the level of a 6? Like
me personally, like my own self-assessment of my. Are you wanting me to articulate?
Yeah, like what makes you better than over 50% of men that are available, and some. You're 6. You're not just 5.
Well, I mean,
6.
I could certainly be wrong. How I think that's just my own self-assessment. I think and I'm not saying it to be cocky. I don't think I'm a 10, but if 5 is the average, I think I'm perhaps maybe slightly above average.
Do you go to the gym?
Do I go to the gym? I've been eating kind of shit, so I need to lose like 10 pounds. I got a little belly here, you know, so rocking a bit of a dad bod. But
how does the beard factor into that number?
The beard?
Yeah, the beard. We got to know.
Into the number?
Yeah.
You know what? Isn't there some YouTuber who like does like face ratings, wheat waffles? Do you know? Oh, didn't you do something with wheat? Wait, I'm trying to think.
I didn't, but I've seen what you're talking about.
You know
like
who I'm talking about? Yeah. He does like the face like breakdown,
yeah,
like the fucking
the symmetry,
the epicanthal folds, and or what does he fucking talk about? He talks about like he's a good guy, but I'm trying to think what he talks about.
I think it was like facial symmetry or bone structure or something like that. Or
okay, so I still my hair isn't totally gone yet, so I guess that's good at least for my age, I reckon. Blue eyes, got the baby blues, got the long eyelashes, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I don't think I'm an exceptionally good looking, but I think I'm decent. I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Big nose probably. I got big nose, so that probably takes off. I don't know, a point or two, and then I'm pale, super pale, and I've got my hands kind of shake because I haven't eaten anything today, and or I didn't eat much today, and I have dainty hands. I think if I had big muscular man hands that were thick and fat, that'd be like an extra 0.5. But I got these gamer hands, you know, fucking my micro. What's that?
You know how you get muscles though?
Sex?
The gym.
Huh?
The gym. That's how you get the muscles.
Yeah, but like some people just genetically, for example, my dad, he's a software engineer. Okay. He doesn't exercise, he doesn't lift. He's got fucking man hands, like big, fat, meaty, strong man hands, and I got these dainty, okay. I got these dainty gamer hands for like playing the piano and shit. Like I could bust out some Chopin, but I ain't about to like do 9 hours of physical labor in the fields.
So my point being is a lot of this show is scoffing at women who think that they are prettier than they are, and then I rarely see us turn it around on the men, and like I'm sure you're a nice guy and you have a great show, but I wouldn't say like.
Can I give you the guy's version of that?
Sure.
The delusional women thinking they're a 10. The man version of that is men who declare themselves an alpha male. I think that is comparable.
They were asking about looks, though.
Well,
But
I think
alpha male is not just
Lauren
about
was about
looks.
to say that I'm actually not a 6, but go ahead, Lauren.
No, that you got it. You got the point.
Well, go ahead, say it for yourself.
I finished my thought. But
Well, you didn't because John came in, but go ahead.
Okay.
Thanks, John. You saved me. Saved by love, John.
Go ahead.
I finished my. Okay, my point being, I don't know if I would. Yes, I don't know if I'd qualify you as a 6, and I do feel like why would you scoff at women who are incorrect about their beauty? Like I don't understand.
What do you rate me, just out of curiosity?
Oh gosh.
If I'm not a 6, what do you? I mean, we could also ask the chat too. Chat, do you guys want to rate me? Go ahead.
Yes, let's let the chat.
Let's
you want me to rate you?
Yeah, what do you rate me?
I think, okay, first of all, I think you're very kind, but we have to go based off just looks.
Just
right?
looks.
Like a 4, 3 or 4.
3 or 4. And what do you rate yourself?
I said a 3.
You're a 3? I don't think you're a 3.
in Ohio, and I said a LA.
Okay, just forget the fucking
It-
bullshit geographic shit.
bullshit
What
geographic?
do you rate yourself on a scale of 1
Like
to 10?
a 5 or 6.
Okay. You know what's funny is actually I would say, there's, I don't know if any of you have seen this on TikTok. There's this app that like makes you like the male version of you, and it's something like, if you wouldn't date, like, and often you see girls doing this, if you wouldn't date the male version of you, your standards are too high.
Yes, but that app, the face changing, is literally, it's not even altering your features to make you look like a man. It's like a stencil app where it's just like applying another man's face over your face. So that app doesn't even actually turn you into the male version of yourself. It just turns you into some random guy. Because have you ever tried like the male filter on yourself? Because I know the female filter on myself doesn't make me just look like a more feminine woman. It makes me look like a different woman. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just
Let's ask the chat, who's more attractive, me or Lauren? Who's more physically attractive? Or are we looks equivalents? Because I was going to say, just looking at you, I actually think there are some similar to some degree. I mean,
Are you Irish? Are you Irish?
no, but I would say we're to some degree. I would consider us.
Brother, sister?
No, I would say we're kind of to some degree comparable looks wise. I think.
Okay, interesting.
But you think you're more attractive than me? That's totally fine. Fair enough. I'm not for everybody.
They said
But,
Lauren is
Well,
effing
you know,
hot.
Sitting next to me, everyone looks better.
Yeah,
of course,
chat.
you know.
Are we on?
No, you're Tony Hawk.
No, I'm Tony Hawk.
I
and
love Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk. What would you rate Tony Hawk?
He was like a child. I loved
He's
like
like-
watching the skateboarding growing up. I was really into him. And then I also had the Tony Hawk video game thing that was like on my PS. So I love Tony Hawk. Huge.
There's a reason I don't show my face on camera. No, I'm just
I haven't been reading the chat, but what's the chat been
You got like
saying?
7.
It's been saying
It's
Brian.
been saying 7. Brian. Yeah, you're beautiful man.
Brian looks
apparently.
good. Brian's a 10.
But okay, so your original question is, and so
Did
you're,
we even ask
but
him what number he is? Do we even get into that, or do we just
Well, we
completely
can, but
skip
I-
over him? Like, do men not matter?
well, the original question was ask the ladies to rate themselves on looks to 10. But if you want to try to deflect from where I'm about to go with this conversation, we can pass it to John really quick. What do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
well, I mean,
If you want to delay my rebuttal, but go ahead.
I mean, what is Tony Hawk? I mean,
Tony
apparently
Hawk's-
he's my doppelganger. So I mean,
Do you have a skateboard on you?
you know what? I don't have a skateboard on me, but I would say, above average. I would think. I mean, 6, 7, something like that, possibly. But I mean, I don't show my face on camera for a reason.
Fair. Okay, so I think the difference is though, and I guess your qualm is because you think I've rated myself higher than how you view me,
I just,
and perhaps you're right. Perhaps I'm
Black
not a 6. Hold
Socrates
on.
donated $99. False equivalence there, lawyer. We don't scoff at women who
This
merely
is what I
rate
was about to say.
themselves inaccurately. We scoff at women who default to saying they're a 9 or 10 purely based on this self-generated notion they have that they're inherently high value.
Sure. So I mean, let's give. By the way, Black Socrates, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. So I think there's a difference between someone being within the margin of error of a rating, so either plus or minus a point. So perhaps I'm a 5, right? My self-assessment is a 6. I think that's within the margin of error. Now we're getting we're getting fucking
nitpicky.
a little nerdy with this shit. Hold on. With the fucking maths and shit. But the difference is when a girl who's like a 6 or a 7, she thinks she's a 10. Because if a girl says she's a 6 and I think she's a 5, I'm not calling that out. But if a girl who's a 6 says she's a 10, who says she's on par with the most beautiful women in the world, that's where I'm like, you're delusional. So I think there's a difference there. I think it's the degree, if you're within, again, the margin of error, that's one thing. But we have below average women come on the podcast saying, I'm a 10. I'm on par with the most beautiful women in the world. I'm on par with lingerie models, runway models, magazine models, the most beautiful women in the world. That to me is delusional. That's where we scoff. I don't scoff at a girl who's a 5 who says she's a 6. Go ahead. Sorry, hold on.
Bads_X donated $100. It's a scoff because a lot of women that come on have a self-inflated ego because of makeup, angles, lighting, and filters that thirsty simps in the DMs gas up, when in reality they are very mid or lower.
If I said I was a 10, that's like, bro, that's like me saying I'm on par with Brad Pitt when he was in his mid-20s. And he's also been a fucking babe, and like, he's still a fucking babe, but.
10s get modeling contracts. If you're a 10, why would you even wear makeup? I mean, I've done this interview on the street before, and many women have said they're 10s, and I guess they conflate it with confidence. If I am super confident, then that makes me a 10. But then there's also a beauty standard. There's obviously, you know, just because I think I'm a billionaire, does that mean that my, you know, my bank account reflects that? You know what I mean? There's certain just things that have to back up what you're saying.
But
Did you want to respond? Oh, go ahead.
no, I just wanted to say, like, maybe for someone who really in love with her, she's a full 10, you know, and for him, she's 10, and she's better than all others because he's in love with her.
That's beauty is in the eye of the beholder,
Yes.
but that still doesn't disprove the fact that we do have certain opportunities that come along with certain
Yeah, that's true.
levels of beauty.
RIP's in the chat, boys, for Brian. Okay, let's move on from the. Did you want to respond, Lauren, or?
No, I mean that really does make a lot of sense. Like I get where you're coming from with the saying, okay, I'm a 9 or 10 and I'm in that difference. However, I do think that we could experience some nuance and recognize that at least you on this podcast do avoid asking the men that question, and then also, you know, what I already said.
Also what? Oh, did you want to come in?
Oh, no, yeah. Did you finish?
Yeah, I'm done.
I just wanted to point out, I think you're talking about almost like self-awareness, because like if a woman, let's say she thinks she's a 10, she's actually a 7, but it doesn't even matter what, you know, just like she thinks not the reality. And then don't you think that the world, the reality, will kind of slap her in her place at some point? Like she will realize that she is not as like old as she thinks she is. And if she doesn't realize that, that's not so much like inflated ego, but at least I would view it more as not having self-reflection.
I mean, I definitely think it's perhaps harder for women to have the self-awareness of their own physical attractiveness for a couple reasons. One, if you look at, and some people really aren't active on social media, but for example, if you look at a lot of girls' Instagram profiles, their friends are in the comments gassing them up. Even like, let's be honest, even average, below average women, their friends are saying, you're a fucking slay queen, you're a babe, you're a hot, 10 out of 10, you're perfect, blah, blah, blah. So their own female friends, their own peers are gassing them up. Guys really don't do that to their male friends on social media or I mean, some guys do, but like guys really aren't gassing each other up in that same way. Guys typically are gonna like call out their friends more so. Like men and women kind of interact differently. Like men will bond by basically fucking roasting each other to death, whereas and then saying really nice things about them behind their backs. And then I think it's almost the reverse with women. Women will say really nice things to a girl to her face and then talk mad shit about her behind her back. Not all women here, but
I have a question about this.